Morning, guys. Does cockroaches, rats and mice and ants, are they bothering you? Do you have them in your home? Well, we're going to dive into how you take care of these rodents and insects, as I am a 40-year retired pest control professional and former business owner. So on this series of videos, we're going to be talking about those things that bother you on an everyday in your house or in your business. And again, we'll be discussing how we get rid of them, how we prevent them from coming in to begin with, and then we'll talk about different ways to eliminate them with either a rodenticide. We talk about exclusion on rodents, where we go in and seal holes around pipes and doorways and entry points for insects and rodents to get in your home. Again, I speak of integrated pest management approach. That's what that is. If we can seal them out without using insecticides and rodenticides, that is the best option. But once you get them in your home or get them in your business, then we have to figure out, how do we get rid of them? What caused them to come in to begin with? So we're going to be discussing areas they enter, things you can do so where you can use an exclusionary measure to seal them out as well. So let's get into a little bit about rodents. Rodents need food, shelter, and a place to habitat where they can actually have their young. And then there's also reasons why they go to those areas. Again, they're like us. They need warmth, shelter, and they need a food source. So they're going to come in when it gets really cold. So we got to figure out why they came into your home. So we're going to start, and I will be doing some footage in another video of showing you from the exterior where they're entering your property. Right now we have 12 to 14 inches of snow here, and then a lot of that snow is against my house, so I would be showing you entry points that I have sealed off. So we have to look for areas where they're coming in. But today's not the day to do that. We're just going to be talking about why they're coming in your home. Now, you got to remember, mice multiply very quickly. They can have 8 to 10 offspring every 30 days. And then you can start doing the math, and that adds up to a lot of rodents. So what we got to do as far as sealing them out, steel wool, SOS pads, anything with a steel fiber that they can't gnaw through. Rodents are like squirrels. They have to dull their incisors, their teeth, continuously, because if they don't, their teeth keep on growing. So they dull them by gnawing. If you see a squirrel doing that, that's what they are doing. That's just part of their nature. So mice and rats do the same thing. Now, let's talk about the distance of a mouse once it gets into your home. Typically, a mouse can travel anywhere from 8 to 30 feet from their nesting site. Typical average is about 8 to 10 feet. Where mice are very curious. They will search out something. They don't like different things changing in their environment. But if you put out, say, a snap trap with cheese on it, or peanut butter, which is my favorite, or Hershey syrup is also a really good one. If you don't have the right snap trap where you can, they can get that off there, they'll lick that off without setting that trigger. So I recommend buy a snap trap, and you can get them from places that I can recommend you get them from, that has an area on it where you can put just a tiny thing of cotton ball, and then you put your peanut butter on top of that cotton ball or that syrup, because they can't get that off of there. That'll typically catch them. Now, today, as far as rodenticides go, there are really good gel baits, which are kind of a thick liquid where you can put on that gauze or that trigger where they can actually get to that pretty easily without them actually licking it off, because it'll stick to that snap trap a little easier than normal. So, you have to really look at areas where they run. First of all, you want to look for the droppings. Where are we finding the droppings? You typically will find them in the kitchen where the food is. So you'll find them in cabinets, under sinks, you'll find them under the refrigerator, in your stove. They can nest in your stove very easily. So we got to figure out where they are to begin with. Now, how do we know what is fresh and what is an old dropping? Now, pointing out droppings, a mouse has a pointed end on both ends of that dropping, where a rat has a blunt end. That's how you know if you got mice or you got rats. And the droppings will be larger, certainly on a rat, than they will be on a mouse. Now, again, mice are curious. They want to see what is in there. So if you use a trap, they're going to go to that and say, we got food on here. Well, before you know it, they go to getting too close to that trigger, and if it's very sensitive, you're going to get that mouse. But that's probably not where you're done, because you usually think you only got one mouse. You probably got several. Can be hiding in wall voids, in areas like behind refrigerator stoves. So you need to figure out where all the entry points are. Now, I don't recommend that you clean those droppings up right away. You're going to want to see if you can catch the first onslaught of mice without cleaning them droppings up yet. But you want to clean them out of your cabinets and stuff if you can. Typically, they're just going there to hide if there's an area to get in that cabinet. But typically, you can clean the droppings up fairly quickly. I'd give it a day or two and then vacuum them all up. Now, with that said, dry droppings create an airborne diseases. Now, you would have to have a really, really bad rodent infestation to have that happen. So you just have to clean them up with a vacuum sweeper. If they're bad, you want to wear a respirator. Always wear a dust respirator, something where that's not becoming where you're breathing that. But you'll probably want to use a vacuum sweeper that has got a hose attachment, because that's what you're going to have to do to get those droppings out of there. Then you want to clean and disinfect that area as well after you clean the droppings up. But typically, once you do that and you keep setting new snap traps or glue boards, I'm not a fan of glue boards. I think it's inhumane to kill a mouse to see it get stuck on a glue board. I would rather use a snap trap, make it quick, make it painless for that mouse. So you definitely want to make sure you want to put snap traps sometimes put 2 and 3 in one area. You'd be surprised that once you snap trap and kill one of them, you'll get a couple more in the same area as well, because they're curious. So you don't want to handle them mice. You don't want to handle them without gloves on, because like a mouse or a rat will bite you. Now, if you get close enough and you get it cornered, they're going to show you their defensive mechanism. I've never been bitten by one in 40 years, and nor do I care to try. But if you handle them with care, when you throw the snap trap away, you can just throw the mouse away, or you can throw the whole thing away if you want to, and set out new ones. But once you clean them droppings up, that'll also give you information in the future. If you get new droppings, you've still got mice in your property. So you want to put them in areas where animals can't get to them, dogs or cats. You want to put them in closets. You want to put them behind a stove or refrigerator. And actually, if they're in the stove and you see them in that bottom drawer, you're certainly going to want to put 2 or 3 of them in that drawer, because they will go to them snap traps. Now, if you're like me, I've got 3 inside cats. I probably will never have a rodent problem. But if you see your cat standing at a kitchen cabinet and just staring at that cabinet, you got a rodent somewhere, either in that cabinet or in the pipes that's coming up, say if you have a crawl space. They know that's there. So as far as sealing out areas, you open that bottom of that kitchen sink, and where the pipe goes through the wall, make sure you put steel wool around there, because if you put caulk around there, anything else, they're just going to gnaw it right back out. But steel wool, they won't mess with. So you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to look at dryer vents on the outside. Make sure that flap hasn't got stuck due to lint getting in the dryer. That gives them entry points. You want to make sure that flap stays freely as you run the dryer, and when it's done, that flap closes completely. Look for areas around that where it's mounted to the wall or the house. Make sure you got steel wool around there. You're going to want to look for gas lines going into the house. You're going to want to look for soffits that are loose at the top. They'll climb right up that wall to come through the attic. And if we have a heavy infestation, typically they're in the attic quite a bit. Now, there are companies out there, and this is what I want to speak to right now. As a 40-year veteran, companies out there want to vacuum all your insulation up out of your attic, blow new insulation because they say that the attic is contaminated. Take that with a grain of salt, guys. I don't recommend you do that. Get 2 or 3 estimates when somebody tells you it's going to cost you $15,000 to $25,000 to take care of your problem. And guys, I've seen that happen before. So you want to choose wisely when you pick a pest control company. If you have to choose a company to get rid of your problem. But if you can take care of this yourself, you can get you some snap traps. I can leave a link for you in the description box and the comment section. I'll pin it there. There is a company that a lot of times as a professional, I order directly from this supplier because they have free shipping, and I really like that. Now, again, as far as the outside of the property, you're going to want to use tamper-proof or tamper-resistant outside exterior bait stations around the outside. One on each side of the house is usually good, but you want to put one closer to the door on the outside. That way, they're going to feed on that outside before they come inside. So those are some of the things that you want to look for. But as far as rodents on the inside, they'll nest anywhere. They will take toilet paper, they will take paper towels, they'll take nesting clothing, and that's where they're going to have their young, is in those areas. So normally you'll catch the smaller mice quicker than you will catch the larger ones, because the larger ones get a little smarter as they see those snap traps going off. It's just something they do. Now, when you get into rat infestation, that's a total different story. Rats are very cautious of their surroundings. So if they see new things where they travel, they're going to be very cautious. They're not going to go into those areas because there's something different and they know it. Now, speaking with mice and rats, sometimes I will set, I'll put the trap, if it's a snap trap, I will actually put the bait on there and let them lick that off and get used to it before I set the trap. That's called pre-baiting. And then once they're used to going to that same area a couple of days, that's when you set the trap, because at that point they think it's safe. So I just wanted to do a short video about rodent control. The next one we'll do about cockroaches, rather be German, Oriental, American, brown banded, palmettos. There's different kind of roaches that affect different kind of regions. So we'll be getting into that. We'll be talking about how do we control and eliminate fleas in our house. That's another topic I'll cover. And I will do a lot of outside inspections, videos to show you guys what to look for. So yeah, I hope this has helped you guys. Let me know what you're dealing with in the bottom of the comment section, and I'll answer you directly if you are dealing with a problem right now, and I'll see if I can help you out. So yeah, share, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you on the next video.